Be willing to put your true self out there and be polarizing. Authenticity is the most polarizing thing, which is also why it's so interesting. This is something that I really struggled with, especially growing up, because I wanted to be liked. I would play it very safe. I would try to also analyze and read, say, the people I were talking to. If it was in high school growing up, like the people I was surrounded with, like what do they like? And I would always try to play into their frame, knowing that, oh, they'd probably like this movie, so that's my favorite movie. Versus, you know what? No, what do I really like? And a lot of coming into your own as an adult, as a human, means owning your authenticity and being willing to repel the wrong people and attract the right ones. So what I would do, and this is what I personally did, is go back into your past. Audit your childhood growing up. This is especially if you're someone who considers yourself as a bit boring, who might have that label as boring. No personality, just flat. People might not be excited to be around you or invite you out. You're just kind of always in the background. Audit your past. What were you into? What excited you? What interested you? Like really just, not even for approval. And this is why sometimes even going earlier on can help and say, well, what actually turned you on? Even if it's nerdy. What were some of your secret guilty pleasures you would hide from your friends at school? And make a list of those. Even here today, what do you do on your free time? Here's another test. Go through your browser history. What do you consume? Right? Most people look at all these shy, like, oh, no. Don't put that out there. Go through the browser history. Own it. This is also a good test in terms of just vulnerability. Would you feel comfortable if a close friend, or say you're in a relationship, if your partner went through your history? Or would you be like, oh no, they would see this about me. Well, what are you hiding? What are you so afraid people will see? And this also comes down to just owning who you are. It means being willing to be seen. Not just this part of you, but everything that is you. Really owning it. Now, we always tend to think, well, there's only certain things that are cool. That's not true. I mean, look at me. If you've been following me for a while, there are many components of my personality that played into my brand. For example, at a younger age, I really liked the TV show The Vampire Diaries. That was part of my brand. Think about it. Some little chick flick vampire TV show. I met some of the people on the show too, some of the actresses. And it was not a pleasant, it was a fanboy encounter. This is many years ago. I met one of the main ones too. And I was like, hi. And I was so starstruck because I really liked the show that I couldn't stop shaking the hand. Just like it was really weird. And my friend was like, oh, he's a fan, and pulled me away. But if you think about that, I'm talking about in videos, you'd think, well, why would you, who, what? But I owned it and literally became a thing where people around the world were watching the Vampire Diaries because of me. Yeah. Now, objectively, it's not something you'd be like, yeah, Vampire Diaries, but you make it cool. It's you who makes it cool. The same with just my personality in general. I always loved a bit of the edgy side of things. I love the movie Borat, for example. Anything Sacha Baron Cohen, Bruno, you name it. As a person and his views on the world and especially censorship, no. But in terms of him as a performer, love it. That's my humor. I love growing up more of the edgier things like Eminem, right? Like I listened to that in school even as a kid. Love the edgy bits. I even got a lyric book where I'd analyze the lyrics. Love the Doors, love anything that's just a bit out there. And I brought all that into just my style of being, where that's who I am just on a basic level, hanging out with friends. I do a lot of crazy, like, what would you do if, and throw Borat situations at people. Even, funny enough, I did multiple videos with Robert Greene, amazing guy. But one of the last ones I did is we were up in the Hollywood Hills, and I invited him over to record some videos. And you can see it on YouTube. I answered the door. I think I was wearing this shirt, actually. But ultimately, I looked like a fucking clown. Like, I looked like Ollie G. Literally. Now, he knew me from videos before, so he was cool about it. But if he didn't know me, he probably would have walked out because I literally was dressed like crazy. I was like this with like military pants and this Gucci hat and glass. I was totally like a cartoon version, and I always find that funny. That's my humor. Every single live event I do, I always have an inside joke with myself that no one knows about but me. And that's what makes it funny for me, which makes me smile and chuckle through the entire live event.
So what is it now?
That's only for me. That's the whole point. It's like, I don't put it out there, it's just for me. But that's part of my own personality. And I was always afraid of putting it out there. I was always afraid, like, oh, people won't like it. But as soon as I started doing it, I realized that, yes, some people don't, but some people love it. And it's actually this type of authenticity that just really makes you magnetic. So for all of you here, ask yourself, what are these unique things about me? What was I like as a child? What are these things that I was super into? And start putting it out there and see what happens. And you see that by trying to be so bland and play it so safe, you become invisible. It's funny, we want to play it safe, we want to fit in, but if you just think basic marketing terms, hey, you want to be invisible, what do? Act like everyone else. That's the easiest way, blend in with the crowd. And we think that, hey, if I'm just a good person and I blend in with society and I blend in with all that, people will somehow like me. No, they won't notice you. Stand out. Do the opposite of what everyone else is doing. Even business-wise, look at what everyone else is doing and do the opposite and stand out, but in a smart, calibrated way. If you're in an audience like this, be loud. You stand out. Even me right now, so you hear some of the background noise, doesn't affect me. I'm loud, I over-dominate it. Stand out. Most people, oh, sorry about the noise, everyone. I guess it's late here. No, don't do that. If you think too, just at a basic level, the rule is this. Stand out, but in a relatable way. That's what celebrities do. They do things that most people couldn't do. They wear things most people couldn't wear. They act ways most people couldn't act, but they do it in a relatable way that connects. If you stand out in a non-relatable way, that's bad. Now, people try to be relatable by playing in, but if you're able to stretch the edges and be authentic and be relatable, authenticity, relatability, you stand out. And then it's also being okay with having people not like you, right? It's the good old Starbucks example. If you think of Starbucks, everyone likes Starbucks, right? Now, maybe some of you are like, nah, here in Europe. But no, for the most part, it's a brand that's liked. No one really hates it, but no one really loves it. Would you have a Starbucks tattoo? Would you wear a Starbucks t-shirt proudly? Like, yes? No? No, you'd be like, it's fine. That's most people's personality. Versus, say it's your local coffee shop, where it's just this one crazy person serving the coffee. And has a weird name and a weird logo, and the person's weird and tells weird jokes every time you come in for the coffee. Like say it's like the dad joke coffee shop, and it's just these dad jokes nonstop. Well, guess what? Are some people going to hate that? Yeah. They'd be like, I hate these dad jokes. Which, if you want a good dad joke, what does the NBA and outer space have in common? They both have shooting stars. Get it? Shooting stars. So, say that was the coffee place. Some of you would laugh, and some of you would be like, Starbucks. So some people would hate it, but some would love it. Would people wear a t-shirt of the dad joke coffee shop? Yeah. Would some even get a tattoo? Yeah. That's you with your personality and who you are. Put it out there. If your favorite movie, you're like, well, some people might not like it. Good. That means some will love it. Be polarizing and own it. That's how you stand out. And then just in your vibe alone, the way you talk, the way you put yourself out there, this is something I've taught for years, always filter it through these 4 pillars. Okay, this is very just basic charisma, basic just magnetic personality, social skills. Filter it through how purposeful you are, how controlled you are, how flowing you are, and how self-amused you are. Purposeful, controlled, flowing, self-amused. You can think of these as different volume knobs, right? Where you have to find the perfect balance that works for you. So what does purposeful mean? It means passionate. Bring the passion. Most people, even if they're into something, they just don't allow themselves to express it. They're like, yeah, you know, like say you, I love Lord of the Rings. You're like, well, I kind of like Lord of the Rings. The war is pretty cool in there. The battle scenes. Is there purpose? No, it's just lump. It's like, bleh. It's like if you shake someone's hand and they don't shake back, it's like just a soggy piece of meat. Versus, hey, There's, Lord of the Rings. Yes, passion. Just that, adding it in the vibe, mixed in with your unique personality will be captivating. Why? Because no one has this. How many people in your life do you know are actually excited about something? Versus look at it in the street and how bored people are. I'm bored to be alive. Can't believe I'm still alive. Wish I were dead. It's like people are bored going through the motions. It's Groundhog's Day. There's that saying, right? They have boring dreams. They eat boring breakfast. Go to their boring job. It's just this boring mush. Bring some passion. It'll spark up. Now, you could also do too much passion, right? Where you got to tone it down and calibrate it so it's authentic, but as we talked about, relatable. The next one is controlled. And that's where it's passion, but in an authentic, grounded way versus a reactive way. For example, hey, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings. You're like, try hard. But it's passionate. Versus, hey, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings. Different. Grounded. I'm at the cause. I'm not in reaction. I'm not chasing. Even in your motion, the way you talk, a good way for controlled is imagine you were underwater. Everything's a little bit slower. Versus, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings. No. The third is flowing, meaning you could be purposeful, controlled, but it's just very stiff. People are like this. It's like they have this hockey stick inside of them. And they're like, hey, everyone, how's it going? Versus, no, take it out. And then, hey, how's it going? It's like there's a nice flow. You're relaxed. You're not uptight. You don't take yourself too seriously. And the fourth is self-amused. You're entertained by what you're saying. You're at the cause of your own emotions. You're generating your own emotions. Versus, do it for me, like me. Most people, they talk to someone, it's like, give me a good reaction. Yay. Versus, no, talk to you, make yourself feel good, and then through the law of state transference, that draws people in. So those are the 4 pillars. And then you can adjust. You can audit, well, which one am I by default good at? Which one might I be too intense at? Slow it down. You'll see some people, they're too self-amused. Like, it's like, hey, you're not a clown, slow it down. Okay, I'll slow it down. Then some others, it might be purposeful, but not flowing. Okay, I need more flowing. Some aren't controlled. But ultimately, any kind of charisma personality, you can audit it through these lenses. Filter it in the vibe, that's the vibe. And then in the content, it's, well, what do you find interesting? Back to having no personality. What's your personality? What are some of the unique experiences or influences that shaped you and became you through your life? And own it and put it out there. This is what I do. This is what I've always done. From the moment I started working on myself, yeah, it's scary, but you'll see, you do this, you will stand out, you will be interesting, people will have something to say about you, because that too, the worst thing is no one has anything to say about you. Oh yeah, they could, John could be there or not. Yeah, he's okay. What is he into? I don't really know, he's just okay. I want people to say, oh, this guy's great, or screw this guy. You want people to say that about you. Oh, this person's great, come on, or no, not that person. But none of this, they could be there or not. So, cultivate a personality. Come on. And you should know what it's like, and then filter it through those 4 filters.